Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below. Your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Please reach out to me directly. Email tmosso@thewatchbox.com for pricing. Today, we're discussing the Breitling SuperOcean 42. 42 millimeters in stainless steel. This is part of a series launched in 2010. It's 42 in diameter. It's 15.7 millimeters thick, and it's 49.5 millimeters lug-to-lug with a 20 millimeter spacing between the lugs. Let's throw it on my wrist, which is 16 centimeters in circumference. You can see it's actually a very good fit. I could recommend this watch for a wrist as small as 14 centimeters in circumference. It's not thick, it's not thin, it's par for a dive watch, but particularly impressive given that it is a 1500 meter diver. The watch is relatively short across the wrist, and critically, this Breitling Professional II bracelet pulls straight down out of the lugs. So if you do have a small wrist, the bracelet doesn't want to flare and fight and arc out. It can pull straight down out of the lug because it has a pivoted end link. Taking a quick look at the bracelet, it's all of high polish, and it's a 3-link design with a slash profile, but the links are symmetrical. That is, they're of equal size, side to side. So this is the Professional II bracelet. There's a conforming end link that closes up the gap to the case and creates a more integrated look. Everything's of high polish. You can see removable links are fixed by screws. We have a single fold deployant clasp with a clamshell lock, and you can see the little clamshell locks to keep this secure. There are several divots drilled inside the clasp, so you can use your strap tool to re-anchor it. Change the anchoring point of the bracelet inside the clasp to fine-tune the fit after you remove or add sufficient links to get an approximate sizing. The case is relatively simple, full high polish, integrated lugs. There's a helium escape valve, so if you're a saturation diver, when you ascend from your dive, if helium has accumulated inside the watch, courtesy of the helium escape valve, it will be relieved as you ascend so it doesn't build up and blow out the crystal and the seals for the watch. Screw down crown, of course, for a watch rated to 5,000 feet. We have a unidirectional rotating dive bezel. It's a 120 click, which I find pleasing. Take note, there is no luminescent pearl in this bezel, so it doesn't necessarily function in the dark, a little bit unusual by dive bezel standards. If you look carefully, though, you can see just how well it's assembled. Little screws in the flank of the bezel indicate the presence of a captive bezel design. That means screws, rather than a snap click, hold the bezel in place. So whereas on an Omega or a Rolex, you can accidentally hit the bezel and snap it off, here that cannot happen because it is fixed to the case with screws. We have these satinated raised indices and numerals. They have a satin metal finish, and then the rest of the bezel is filled with a rubber insert, and experience has proven that these age very well and resist degradation due to impact and age. We have a dial that is very similar to the bezel in that the numerals are clearly metallic with a satin grain across their surfaces, and the same is true of the indices. The hands are polished, they're rhodium-plated steel. We have this dramatic yellow rayhot. It is remarkably bright, and it matches the little varnished index at the end of the seconds hand. We'll turn the lights off so you can see the watch in the dark. It's fairly well loomed, as a dive watch should be. The dial base is matte black to resist glare. On the reverse side, you can see the Breitling logo, and you can see that this is ACA, so steel. 17 is Breitling code for an ETA 2824, and then 3 means it's chronometer certified. So inside the case, we have an ETA 28242 doing business as the Breitling caliber 17. It's a bidirectional automatic winder with 38 hours of power reserve, a stop seconds function, a quick set date, a 4 hertz or 8 beat per second rate. It pivots on 25 joules, and it is a certified COSC Swiss chronometer, so it's very accurate in addition to being very physically tough and shock resistant. Reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details of this Breitling SuperOcean 42.